Sorry. Good morning, everyone. My deepest apologies for being late. My original date was on the 1st, and I got a little confused on this other side of the world. So my apologies on your ends. I hope that I did not offend anyone. Um, Okay, great. So we are here to speak about digital marketing, and basically from this side of the world, it's a different from a different aspect. So there's so many different things that are changing here in America as far as digital marketing is concerned. I don't know if we have anyone on the line that is a specialist in that regard, but it affects every aspect of business. Digital marketing changes everything on our side, and it's a very life, living, breathing thing. And with the changes of AI, it is definitely expediting. It's really changing the economy of the United States. I really don't know like what it's like on your side, and I would love to hear at some point what you guys have to share, but I would love to share a little bit of what's going on over here. So there's a lot of people that have created an entire career in being creative writing, basically writers that have practically lost their jobs, practically lost part of their businesses, because now with the development of AI, which started more so probably like 4 years ago, there was a platform called Jasper where you could just go in and plug in and it would just help you develop content. And a lot of us digital marketing people have been doing this. So just to give you a little bit of my story so you know who you're listening to, I've been in the industry since 2012 and have owned an agency since 2012, and it has evolved. I've been a producer. I've spoken in colleges here in the United States, such as FAU, FIU, and been really blessed in the sense of being able to be ahead of the market. For whatever reason, I'm kind of like a little bit quirky and I love to research, and I knew where the industry was going. So back even when I was doing conferences and we were part of a platform called SocialCon, and we spoke to the different people that would come to the events, and we would tell them, this is where the market's going. Basically, the market went from content is king and just articles to everything was shifting to video. Everything was shifting to video, and anything that you put on websites that had video content would actually, the algorithm would just kind of like shoot you up. So everything is evolving. So when we speak about digital marketing, it is really to an essence, the heart of who you are. What happens? What happens? So you can be the best consultant. You can be the best psychologist. You can be the best of the best. But if people don't know that, if people can't find you, how does it help you? Because you want to service your people. And unfortunately, what's happening is in the market as general. So this is just going back. People that are not really good at what they do, unfortunately, are really, really good at making sure that their names get out there. They're really, really good at hiring companies that brand themselves. They're really, really good at making sure that people create a buzz for them. They play influencers. So the game is changing. So in order for us to be at the top of our game, what needs to happen is to be ahead of the market. What does that look like? We need to know, okay, this is where we are today, but we need to be forward thinking. And I'll give an example, if that's okay with you guys. For example, I don't know if you guys learned how to ride a bike. I assume that everybody in here learned how to ride a bike. So what happens is when you're learning to ride a bike, when I was a little girl, they told me, if you look down to where you're going, you're just going to fall. But if you look forward, then you're able to maintain the balance. And when you are in business and when you have something good to share, you have to be forward thinking, because digital marketing is not about today, it's about tomorrow. And that's what it's all about. So the game that we're speaking about is not what it was yesterday, because we know what it was yesterday. It's not about what it is today, but it's where it's going. Just as many people did not prepare for where we are, there's going to be many, many businesses that are not going to prepare for where we're going. And it's going to be a very, very sad thing, because what happens is business owners and professionals tend to really focus on their craft and don't really seek the help to hire somebody that gets them to the place that they need to be. So just as that, people that were developing content, they focused on what they were doing, and they really didn't think of, okay, this is a possibility and this is coming. So right now, there's companies, I don't know if you guys read the news from this side of the world, but there are two large companies, UPS, which is a huge company nationwide here in the United States that delivers our packages. They just let go of over 2,000 people, like 2,500 people, just in one day. And then there's another huge company, and I think it was Apple that let go of another 2,500. And this all happened yesterday. And why is that? Because with the help of AI, it's affecting every industry, every business, every industry and every business. So no matter what you have here on this platform, no matter what you do, take a moment, at least once a week, and look at the content that you have. Look at how your business is set up. Look at what is going on and see the possibilities of where you're going. Digital marketing, and I'll just say it like this. When you look at a nurse, when you look at a doctor, when you look at so many different, if there's a trainer, physical training, they have to take classes on a yearly basis or every 2 years and pass their certification. And they call it here in the United States, continuing education. So you can't just be a doctor and that's it. No, you have to stay with what's going on, what's new, what are the new medications, what is the new development, what are the new things that I can utilize. Just like that, digital marketing is an important part of what we can do. Why? Because if nobody knows that you're there, then nobody can use you. If nobody can find you, then nobody will be able to hire you for services. So having that ability here in the United States is a great thing, because when we think of businesses, there's something here that I don't know, again, and my apologies, it's just that I don't know exactly how it is in your end of the world, but we have Google reviews here in the United States. And for Google reviews, it is so important for people to know what people are saying about you. Unfortunately, I'm very sure that you guys will probably know that the reviews, some people pay for them, and Google frowns upon it, but the heart and the essence of the business is based on what people say about you. Of your product, if you're selling a product, is what people say about you. So at the end of the day, that is what's driving the traffic in these days. That is what's driving, even if you can get people onto your website, even if you can get people onto YouTube, which we'll speak about in a minute. It basically, if they see you, but they don't hear that 300 other people loved you, then they're not engaging. When we think about YouTube, there's a development now with TikTok. I don't know how much you guys use TikTok, and I know that it originally was an age thing. It was for the younger crowd. I was in there from the very inception, loved it. I thought that it was really, really great. But just as what I'm speaking about digital marketing, TikTok is an opportunity that we have. So if you have an industry that you would like to get your voice out there, that you would like to build a brand, believe it or not, TikTok is the place. Now, the thing is, the algorithms change continuously, because what they do is they drive a hook just to grab you. And once they have you, then they figured, okay, now we've grown it. Now I'm going to change it. It's like a bait. How you get a fish, that's what they've done. That's how they created the platform. The other opportunity right now that you have, if you are someone that would like to get your name out there a little bit quicker, as you guys know, this is a huge opportunity, guys, right now. If you have content to put on video, and it is YouTube Shorts. Why? Because YouTube Shorts is not a platform that a lot of people are taking advantage of. So they're trying to replicate what TikTok did, but they're like, we're more serious, we're YouTube. And if you use that platform, the algorithm hasn't been manipulated as much. The other great opportunity is LinkedIn. If you are a serious business, did you guys know that only 4% of people post on LinkedIn? So people come and people go, people check. But if you have a message, if you have a service, if you have something important that you want to share, and you are serious about your business or you are serious about your career, you can become the top voice in your industry. You can become the top voice in that arena. There is a section on LinkedIn where they've created and they're continuously creating. And it is a section, I don't know, has anybody seen that section or a little badge that they give people that says top voice? Has anybody seen it? Does anybody know what I'm speaking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, perfect. So basically, with that, you are invited, which is a beautiful thing. You are invited to share articles in your specialty, and you can be the top voice in that industry. So think about if you become the authority in what you do, if you become the authority in what you're speaking about by acquiring top voice. How do you do it? Does everybody know how to do it? Does everybody know how to get it? Yes? Is that a yes? Perfect. Okay. Go ahead,
Yes.
Dr. Okay. So that is, excuse me? Okay. So basically, that is a huge opportunity. So what is it? There's a book called The Tipping Point. I don't know if any of you guys have read it. So the strategy is, just as physicians, just as surgeons, they say on like the best, like here in the United States, we have people that are board certified, people that are the top percent, like that's what they call it, like the top 10 hospitals or the top 10 this. And that's how you know. And if they have to fly somebody 6 hours away, just to be, because somebody has a very serious condition, just to be on the other side of the United States, because they are in the top 10 of pulmonology or any type of specialty, the same thing happens. So your goal is to be at the top 10 at whatever arena, at whatever it is that you're trying to do. So when you get educated of what's coming, then it allows you to be before everybody joins in. It's just like an investment. If you invest in something and it's like $10 when you originally invested, before everybody gets in, because you're educated and you're informed, it changes everything. So when you think about these platforms, YouTube 12 years ago, who are the people that made millions? The people that got in at the beginning. Who are the people that made, funny enough, in 2020, podcast was only 8% of the people that actually were creating podcasts. So what happens? Podcast is still an opportunity if you want to have a voice. LinkedIn is still an opportunity. YouTube Shorts is still an opportunity. TikTok, believe it or not, is still an opportunity. There's people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars selling on TikTok. The goal is to be the person that gets in before the tipping point. Because if you get in after, then you're just part of the snowball. Then you're just part of everybody else. And that is not where you want to be. You want to be at the very beginning. You want to be where it starts. You want to be lethal. So you don't want to be an average person, an average business, an average owner, an average professor. No. If we want to do it, we want to do it well, and we want to win, and we want to do it with excellence. And in order to do that, it is to be informed. Now, wisdom and knowledge are two different things, because right now I'm just sharing knowledge perhaps that you already have, but wisdom is applied knowledge. So applied knowledge is vital in everything that we do. So my thing with digital marketing is it's killing businesses, just to be honest, and to be very basic English speaking, killing. There is a company that used to make 3.5 million a month. I'm not going to say the company because they're our client. They used to make 3.5 billion, and they were our client before. And what happened was they ended up applying strategies on Google. All of the traffic and all of their business and all of the people came through that company. What happened was they were performing practices that were against Google. So it's called black hat strategies. That's what it's called. And what happened was Google blacklisted them. Now, the outcome of Google blacklisting them is they went from one day generating leads, generating their call center was super busy, to their call center just died. So if you can imagine a business, they had a 24-hour calling center, in-house calling center, and it went from the phones ringing off the hook to the call center completely being quiet, like the phones barely rang. And it was because Google blacklisted them. And they went from that to zero business. They didn't appear in Google. They had to recreate a new company, hire us to bring in. It was a whole thing for months, just recreating an entire new brand because Google refused to do business with them. So in this day and age, what you put out, how you do it is vitally important. The consistency to do things right, to stay before the tipping point is vital. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any thoughts? No questions? No questions at all? Okay. Can you kindly repeat the last part that you said, please? I couldn't hear you. The last portion.
Madam, you have given the very good speech about the digital marketing. But now there is a problem of connectivity in the rural area, particularly in India. So most of the market had not covered. So which is the way, how to it will be penetrate the digital marketing up to the layman? Can you suggest to Indian people?
So can you repeat the last part? So you're having a connectivity issue in India? Is that what you're saying?
There is a poor connectivity, not reached, not penetrated the connection up to the last remote area. It means almost the area not covered. because this is the platform for increase the business.
Okay. So basically, and forgive me, Dr. Epper. So basically, what you're saying is that you cannot connect to the internet as a whole. So it connects in and out. Is that specifically? So forgive me because our our ways are a little bit different. So you're saying that the internet, Wi-Fi, 5G service comes on and off, correct?
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, I guess what type of business do you have or service, Dr. Epper? You have your own practice? I mean, I've forgive me, but I've never experienced that on our end. So please forgive me for that. Um, in a situation like that, in a situation like that where there's no connectivity, I would just say it's a different type of situation. It's kind of like having a refrigerator and not having any power. What I would say is when you do have connectivity, maximize. And if there is a portion, and again, Dr. Epar, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, if you with what you do and you don't have the connectivity and it's important for you to be online, what I would say is seek other for yourself. There's other ways to do it. That's number one. And you can inbox me or get my LinkedIn and message me, and I'll share some information regarding that. And but if you're looking just to have the best outcome when you do have connectivity for other people to find you, then it would basically be maximize the time that you do have connectivity. So my deepest apologies for not being prepared. I did not expect that question because that is not something that we experience here in the United States. Pretty much anywhere we go, we have connectivity. And basically, just to share how it is here in America, if you don't have connectivity, we just don't go. So if a restaurant doesn't have Wi-Fi, we don't go to the restaurant. That's what happens. That's why everybody has Wi-Fi, because anybody that wants business, they know this is why Starbucks, my dear people, became the force that they became, because they were one of the very first to offer Wi-Fi. So what happened was people said the coffee's expensive. Yes, it is, but I have Wi-Fi. So people ended up going to work at Starbucks and having meetings at Starbucks because everybody knew consistently that they provided Wi-Fi. So forgive me because that's not something we experience here in the United States. Not yet.
Hello. Good evening, Dr. Bedkar, sir, Principal, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation regarding the digital marketing. And no doubt it is a very growing sector in India. And nowadays, it is a part of life only. So since morning, we start using digital things. Especially in urban areas, there is no problem as such. We are having 5G and other things. So that is there. But my question is, when we are as a consumer, not as a, some business person, but as a consumer, if I want to find out something on the my digital medias, I can find out the main product. But side by side, some opportunistic people are also there. They are also popping up over there. And unfortunately, many of the times we click those points only, and it misleads us to the other aspects. So that is one of the biggest problem what I have faced as a consumer. That is one thing. And second question is, if suppose I'm a new businessman, already there are people who are, they are as in the business area, and they are doing very well and their marketing is very strong. How to fight with those kind of marketing, because that become a kind of competition, and how to stand in front of them. These are my two basic questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. So, as a user, what we can do is I can share some tricks and tips on where to look and how to look, because there are tricks and tips. Basically, there's different sections that Google provides. That you also have DuckDuckGo, you also have Bing. So where you search is pivotal, and then understanding what you're looking at when you're searching. Me personally, as a digital marketing person, I overpass the top portion above the fold, because now you have here in the United States, and again, and I can share, like, if there's an opportunity at a later time where I can share my screen and we can have like another section of this, we can concentrate as a consumer the different sections, what they mean and why they're there. Because originally, way back in the day, it was just you searched on Google and things just appear, right? But now, if you notice, there's a section that is your local stack. There's a section that is a new section. It's brand new. It's called Google Guaranteed. So you have to provide your licenses. You have to provide a whole different thing. And when you go through that, then Google says, okay, Dr. Such and Such is Google Guaranteed. And even their wording is sometimes Google Certified, other times Google Guaranteed, other times Google Recognized. So that is part of, people don't realize that those people are paying. And there's an entire thing for that, because it's not like pay-per-click, which I can speak about those different sections, the organic section, the local stack, the sponsored, which is pay-per-click or Google Ads, and then the Google Guaranteed. It's all very different. So even as a user, a lot of people don't understand what they mean. So Google Guaranteed, the way it works, it's you pay Google per conversion. So if you get a lead, right, it has to be like an actual good lead, like something that is converting. For pay-per-click, it's just anybody that clicks. So I can sit there and just click, and all these companies will have to pay, which is very, very sad. So as a user, I think it's more of what I say, just getting the knowledge of what you're looking at and what is it, and then just being able to utilize. Unfortunately, people have so many different companies that pay, like I said before, to write reviews that are not real, to write different things. So it's just being able to kind of like get the needle from the haystack. That's one. And then as a business, your second question was, as a business, like, how do you mitigate? How do you mitigate with all these other companies, which is what I was saying originally. These companies, a lot of times, if you look at them, their service is really, really subpar. It's really, the people are not good. They're not good business people. They're not even good people, which is sad. Here in the United States, there's a wave of Go Green solar panels. And there's so many different companies that do such a good job investing money into marketing. And at the end of the day, it's really heartbreaking. People allow solar panels to be installed in their homes, but they're not good companies. But the marketing that they have is so good that they look like a good company. So here you are, you believed what you found on your computer, you believed the presentation, you went ahead and hired them, you went ahead and did these things, but once you gave them your money, it's really sad. Like, they're destroying the roofs and they're destroying the homes, and it's really, really sad. So what happens is, as a company, when you want to mitigate that, is being exactly what I said before. being able to compete with not only knowledge, but with applied knowledge. So being before the tipping point, not only knowing where you are today, but knowing where it's going and beating. It's like, I don't know if you guys ever played, what do you call it? Like racing when you were a kid. So it's always the mentality, I will get there first. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, definitely a marketing requires incubation. And what I can learn from your lecture, today's talk is we can find out the trend also, how we are moving up or down with the help of marketing. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Bedkar.
जी नमस्ते मैडम। मैडम मेरा सवाल है कि डिजिटल मार्केट के ऊपर क्राइम, साइबर क्राइम का क्या प्रभाव हो सकता है?
Actually, it's funny that thank you so much for your question, Mr. Singh. Forgive me? Jaber Singh, thank you so much for your question. It's funny that you asked because that was something that I was dealing with this morning. That's a very, very great question. And it does affect. What happens is it's staying innovative. Like that is so important. So I'll just say it like this. Back in the day, you could have a website and it wasn't a big deal. You didn't have to have the little lock. You didn't have to have the certification on your site. So that is why it's important. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you cannot be complacent. Like that is so important, which means, for example, I had all my clients on a particular hosting because of everything that has to do with cybersecurity and everything attached to that. I had to take all my clients one by one and move them into a new hosting, which is 4 times more expensive a month for me than my original company. But why? Why do I need to do that? Because it is my responsibility to keep the safety of all the information of my clients and their sites. So staying informed and knowing that you can't stay just because something was good for today. Again, that doesn't mean that it was good for tomorrow. Just because something was good for me that I was with that company for maybe like 4 or 5 years, have to be able to evolve, have to be able to stay, have to be able to keep informed, have to be able to read and see what's going on, and being able to read the room of what's happening, read the room of what is happening when it pertains to cybersecurity. That is a big thing with digital marketing. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize that. Huge companies in the United States are being compromised. There's a company, and I don't mind because it was all over the news, such as Target. You guys may not be familiar, but Target is a huge company that everybody goes and buys everything, down to pharmacy. Some of them have like a mini supermarket. You can buy clothes, you can buy makeup, you can buy toys, it's a huge, huge company here in the United States. And guess what? Cybersecurity was a thing because they were tapped in. So tisk, I'll say to whoever is the CEO or whoever is the COO or whoever it is heading that department for not staying on top of their game and not providing the security that their customers needed. I'll tell you right now, when their thing was compromised, because this is how we do here in the United States. And just sharing, we take it very seriously. and we are very individualized when it comes to that. I personally stopped shopping there when they had the breach. Personally, I wasn't affected, but because I know, and it was in the news, I was just like, you know what? I'm not shopping there anymore. And if I do shop there, because I have to, I'll just put it on a credit card and not with my ATM card. So cybersecurity is important. That's a whole monster in itself. That is very, very important, and especially if your website has an e-commerce or a portal that people are putting in their personal information and their personal bank information or their personal credit card information. And at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to make sure, if you have that portal, that you do the right thing by the people that come onto your website or onto your app or whatever platform you're providing. Thank you.
धन्यवाद मैडम, और आपका बहुत बहुत आभार कि आगे भी हम आपको सुनना चाहेंगे। आपका वक्तव्य बहुत ही सुंदर था। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Your speech was sir, we
सबसे बड़ी बात है कि जयवीर सर का सवाल था वो सचमुच में
Sonu Kumar sir, do you want to ask anything? Okay, sir. Now here at the end of this international e-conference on digital marketing, I am here on behalf of the organizing committee, Shri Kumarswami College Ausa, for vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank today's honorable chief guest and keynote speaker, Yribel Fernandez ma'am from South Florida, USA. She has delivered a very nice lecture on the topic digital marketing, which helped all the delegates to understand the concept very well about the digital marketing. So on behalf of the organizing committee of the college, delegates from all over the country and delegates from all corners of the world, I am very grateful to you, ma'am, for your keynote speech. I am also thankful to chairperson and chief organizer of this international e-conference, Honorable Dr. M. Betkar sir, for his continuous efforts to arrange webinars and international conferences for the benefit of students, delegates, participants, teachers, and to all those who needed. So thank you, sir. I also thank Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, Jayveer Singh sir for their questions, and all other participants for their active participation in daily webinars and international conferences. I request all the delegates to fill feedback link so that you can have your certificates. Once more, I am very thankful and grateful to honorable dignitaries and all the participants for their kind cooperation and expect the same in future also. Thank you very much. And I declare here, with the permission of chief organizer, that today's international conference is over. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. I really appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the questions. And once again, my apologies. I was a little confused with the dates. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, madam. Yribel madam, because of the date confusion, you have joined late, but still you do cooperation with us with your best speech, because this digital marketing is useful and needed topic for us. You joined late, but you perfectly finished all within time with perfect answering and explaining all the aspects of the digital marketing. in future you will be also invited for another speech. For tomorrow we have another session, so I am sorry that as we have discussing there on link it that tomorrow you can explain, but no need for joining tomorrow. Tomorrow we have new session. Thank you to all. Thank you to all participants, those who are joined here. Sonu Kumar Nigam. Sonu Kumar. Sonu Kumar.
जी सर प्रणाम।
He is a student and journalist. He wants to ask something. Please ask. Sonu Kumar sir.
नहीं सर, कोई सवाल नहीं था। मैं बोल रहा था कि जयवीर सर का सवाल जो था बहुत ही बेहतर सवाल था और मैम ने बहुत बाखूबी अच्छे से जवाब दिया, क्योंकि मैम के आज नए व्यूज मुझे मिल पाए। और सबसे बड़ी बात था कि जयवीर सर ने जो सवाल किया वो सचमुच में, जैसे डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के दौर में साइबर फ्रॉडगिरी तो चलता ही है, और इस बीच में मैम ने भी अच्छे तरीके से उन्होंने बताया और बहुत सारे न्यू पॉइंट्स मिल पाए। इसके लिए बहुत बहुत मैम को धन्यवाद। आपको भी धन्यवाद सर, विशेष रूप से।
सोनू जी, क्या है, मैडम को जाना था थोड़ा जल्दी, इसलिए मुझे थोड़ा सा आपको रुकाना पड़ा, मगर उन्होंने रुके हैं तो आपको मैं इन्फॉर्म किया हूँ। धन्यवाद सोनू जी। थैंक यू मैडम। इन फ्यूचर आल्सो यू कैन ज्वाइन हियर टू डिस्कस विथ आवर पार्टिसिपेंट। थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू।